because, you know, a major part of being the president, you got to do a budget. You got to make sure the taxes are being spent correctly and, you know, taxpayers are paying adequately.
And he also campaigned on the fact that he would cut taxes.
He did. He always has. And you guys, you got to pay attention to this, you know, pay very close attention to the way the media presents this. They give you these numbers. We're going to save you, you know, $1,000. We're going to have $1,000 tax cut here. You're going to get back this much money. But pay attention to the fact that they only give you the numbers and not the information.
And just to kind of give you an overview, in just what the tax reform is asking to do is to change our individual income tax brackets. So right now we basically have 7, and those are coded 10, 15, 25, 28, 33, 35, 39.6. The Senate bill is also calling for 7, but the changes to the rates on the income is going to be 10, 12 instead of 15, 22, 24, 32, 35, 38.5. So what they're supposedly doing, this train, and we're just going to acknowledge it now, just so y'all know, like our studio is
right next to a
definitely
train track.
So we let's name the train.
I was just gonna call it the A train.
Okay, the A train. There go the A train. So in ultimate bottom line, that's basically what they're trying to do, is basically change the overall tax brackets and what the percentages would be.
And they also want to simplify the forms and make it to where there aren't as many deductions. Supposedly, but the 1040 is already a simplified form, which the majority of Americans use anyway, because the majority of us are fucking broke.
And I mean, a form in essence for taxes is not simple. Let's just try to, why don't you guys just send us a fucking bill and say, sign here if this shit is right, sign right here if it ain't, and you guys let us fucking know what we should pay you. Forms to fucking file taxes is not simple, but whatever.
I mean, I know the government already got all my information, but I feel some type of way about niggas in my motherfucking business.
They already in it. They already run it. So when we submit our returns, they run that against what the fuck they have in their system. So what I'm asking for is, don't waste my motherfucking time.
So you guys, the meat and potatoes of this, I have 3 very important points, because this tax bill, if it gets passed, this is what it's going to affect for people that are in, you know, my immediate constituent and people like me. You know, for students, college students, your tuition reimbursements are going to be taxable income. So you're not paying taxes on that now. We just take that income check and be good and run with it. Now you have to actually put it on your tax return and pay taxes on that shit. Isn't that some bullshit?
Well, yeah, and it's kind of like double dipping, because if you're in college and your parents are actually financing your college tuition, they include that loan on part of what they're paying into. You know what I'm saying? So then now if the refund is being counted on the student side, then you're basically taxing one loan twice.
Exactly. Double taxation without representation.
Real shit though.
Yeah, seriously. They also are going to tax like your work study income. So if you get work study from, you know, the federal government, they're like, oh nigga, yeah, we need you to pay us back for that. We need a percentage of you to pay us back for that free money. It's like fucking ridiculous.
Oh, I have 3 points too. So do you just want to go back and forth?
Yeah, okay. About students?
Nah, just about
I got 2 more about that.
About to say.
Well, 1 more. And then also for students, this will also affect students. For in-state students, for in-state, you're going to pay $1,000 more.
At least.
Because they have to raise the pricing on, you know, what you're paying for your tuition, which is fucking stupid. And for out-of-state students, you know, that's more money. They're gonna, if I'm an in-state student, my tuition is going to buy $1,000.
Why
for an out-of-state? Exactly, it's gonna be too expensive to go to school, which it already is now.
I mean, like, Sally Mae is literally the worst bitch in the world.
I'm at the university right now, and I'm also at the community college because I'm a bad bitch. But the university for one class is about $600, and that doesn't even include motherfucking university fees. Bitch, I'm not even on this university enough for y'all to charge me no $500. Every date that I have now, bitch, we going to the university. You hear me?
I am online with Ashford, and it's almost like $800.
Yeah, but classes at that for me, my in-state tuition, is going to go about $1,000, but for somebody that's out of state coming to this school, to this university, we're looking at $5,000.
Real shit.
10 grand
to get a piece
added
of paper,
to their shit.
To get a piece of paper that only puts you in line to fucking compete with other people who have the exact same fucking piece of paper.
Yeah.
So the process is skewed. But
it's fuck.
Like you said, it's interesting that there is a piece of the bill that is essentially attacking higher education. What the fuck?
Right. So who is it benefiting?
I mean, what the fuck?
What you got? You got something that's going to benefit who?
Well, no. So what it does, though, okay, we can clout this as a benefit because that's what the Republicans are trying to do. And they're saying that it's going to double your standard deduction. So basically they're saying that for singles, if you're not married, then you get $12,000 off the top instead of $6,300 off the top. So just to kind of give you guys an idea, because some of you guys may not do your taxes, but let me just be the first one to tell you that you really need to start doing that H&R Block and all that other shit, and the motherfuckers dancing on the side of the street in the Liberty uniforms and shit. Nah, my nigga. Like, what you need to do is know what the fuck you're doing, know what taxes are, so that you can do your own shit, especially now that they're about to reform the way it's been done for years. But basically, when you're a single person, let's say, for instance, just for math's sake, you made fucking $20,000 that year. What they're saying is, as soon as you file your taxes, because you're basically a citizen of this country, we're going to automatically take away $6,300 because we're saying, all right, we're going to give you a break. You have gas expenses, all this other shit from day to day for the whole year. So we're going to give you a break. Instead of $20,000, now you've only made $12,000. Well, they're saying that they're going to double that deduction. Supposedly, now remember, this is all proposed. They're going to double that deduction to $12,000. So now someone who makes $20,000 would only be taxed on $8,000, which is a significant difference. And then, of course, for married couples who file jointly as married, it's going from the 12,700 to the 24. So that is being shopped as a benefit, because obviously if we get immediate deductions up front, then we're taxed on less money. It's obviously going to drastically reduce the number of people who opt to itemize our deductions.
Yeah, because that's the goal. They want us to not itemize. But the downside of that, because it looks shiny, you can't trust 45, my nigga. You can't trust them, because what actually is going to happen with that is only going to work for about 3 years. And then what's going to happen is going to actually just taper off and not even exist anymore by the time 2027.
Right.
2027 is not going to be there anymore. So we're still looking for this itemization. We're looking for this break, and they're promising 70%. That is 70%.
Yeah.
By the time 2027 rolls around, it's going to be down to 30. Nigga, what the fuck did we just do all of this shit for?
Well, see, the thing about that is that as soon as they pass this tax reform bill, we already know that Congress is going to then try to go back around each year and reform it. So, it's almost like Obamacare. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We do all this just to get it repealed.
I'm getting to that one too, because outside of that, those deductions, this is actually going to affect women a lot. Single women, it's a lot of single women raising kids.
Wow.
A lot of single women raising kids. The child tax credit, they're supposedly increasing that from $1,000 to $2,000, but it's not going to really benefit you unless you make $200,000 or more. You're not even going to get that $2,000 tax credit. So unless you make $200K or more,
right?
Which that doesn't benefit anybody that I know.
Nobody
in my family.
I was about to say, it doesn't benefit single women; it benefits wives. Because if you're filing with your husband, then obviously you're more likely to have $200,000 in home. And so also it's going to eliminate personal exemptions. So as of today, you're allowed to claim about $4,050 in personal exemptions for yourself, your spouse, each of your dependents. For example, maybe I want to exempt the fact that I drive a work car to work, right? So I want to... that's what an exemption is. That would be a professional exemption, but a personal one might be I drive my child to daycare, to the doctor, and the doctor is covered by my Medicaid, so I'd like to have my transportation to the doctor for my child exempted. As long as whatever you're saying doesn't exceed $4,000, you were able to do that. this new bill is going to basically eliminate that option.
Yep.
So for families with 3 or more kids or 2 sets of twins, like I have, that would be 4 children, 2 sets of twins. That would not only mute, but possibly negate any type of tax relief that I might enjoy, because personally, I have personal exemptions on like daycare provided or daycare required transportation. So if I'm picking up my kid from after school care, if I'm paying $75 a week for after school care, if I'm driving them to the fucking grocery store on Wednesdays or whatever, I find a way to get my 40, 50, you feel me? And they're basically taking that away. I can't say if that's positive or negative.
I think it's negative, but only because we don't know what they're going to do with the tax credit.
Right.
The tax credit is going to be increased, but they haven't put that in any literature about how that's going to be increased.
And see, the thing is, if you're taking down my deduction, then that's where they get the leeway to say that we can remove the exemption. Because I mean, before I was only allowed to claim $6,000, right? And then the additional 4 would take me to 10. You feel me? So what they're trying to do is funnel all of the exemptions that were possible, the maximum amount, into what your deductions will be. Again, because I have always respected Donald Trump's kind of like business acumen, his strategy. Yeah. I'm not against reform. I'm not against looking at it and changing how things happen. I just need to make sure that this doesn't end up disenfranchising the already disenfranchised and the already fucking oppressed.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right about now. When it comes to the Affordable Care Act, they're going to try to get rid of that completely.
Yeah, DACA. Well, so that right now is why Republicans haven't, there are 5 that haven't voted because he has not agreed to extend DACA.
A lot of people don't even understand exactly what the Affordable Care Act does for people. What it is it makes healthy people, it forced them into medical pools, creating lower rates for everyone overall. So people that are using
basically Obamacare.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They call it that, but I like to just call it what it was, the Affordable Health Care Act.
And then plus when you add the dependent Affordable Health Care for the kids, then DACA makes sense. So I do the same thing. And
so what they're going to do is they're going to cut it out. And so now healthy people no longer have to get insurance and they can pull out the pool, which is going to cause the collapse of that Healthcare Act, because these people's premiums are going to go up, 10%, 20%, 15%, because nobody else is in the pool with them to pay for the medical costs.
Right. And then on top of that, when that motherfucker who decided, hey, I don't want insurance because I need all my money, I'm a manager at McDonald's, goddamn, and I'm already not making enough. When that motherfucker slips on the goddamn Slurpee machine and busts her motherfucking knee, you feel what I'm saying, and got to be taken to the goddamn ER. Girl,
now. You blow that knee out, your ass out of work.
Not only are you now out of work, workers' compensation, now you're digging into fucking state-funded situations from your employer. But then who the fuck pays for your medical bill, bitch?
Your ass.
Us, the taxpayers, because you don't have no fucking insurance. So when you go to the fucking emergency room, that increases the entire cost of fucking healthcare for that goddamn hospital.
And also, boom, check this. Millions of people are going to be uninsured again. And if you uninsured out of pocket, you get her fucking knee up, like Pink said. You blow your shit out. You know what I mean?
Anything. Get sick.
And let's say you are one of those people that are like, you know what, I just pay for my medical costs out of pocket, whatever. Yeah. You're not going to be able to write that shit off on your taxes.
No, and then you'll get a penalty.
You can't deduct it. If it makes up more than 10% of your income, you know what I'm saying? You cannot deduct it.
But then you're also going to pay a penalty too when you file your taxes for the fact that you chose to sit without insurance for the entire year.
Oh no, they're going to take that penalty off. That penalty was only because of Affordable Health Care Act. That was to make people get into you have to get insurance, and if you don't, we're going to penalize you.
But you watched the debate, right?
Hell no.
Oh, well, so in the debate, that's
Niggas wasn't talking about shit.
Well, so in the debate, that's basically what the Democrats were saying. Like, they were basically saying that the only thing that they wanted to change about the ACA was being able to kind of fine people who didn't want to play ball. But the Democrats are basically saying, okay, but wait, the fine was there to compensate for the increase in emergency room fees that we can automatically anticipate.
We
think Obama didn't think about this shit, nigga?
We told y'all niggas,
girl,
you Man.
Oh, also, it's going to repeal state and local tax deduction. So individual filers who deduct your property taxes, like your house, like your car, or your local income or your sales taxes, like maybe you have like a bead business that you do outside of your house, and maybe